What's going on, guys? Welcome to another review with I and Al Danger Room Reviews. And today we have the brand new Sideshow Domino premium format exclusive in the house. We are really excited to review the statue with you guys, share our thoughts, and hopefully you'll be giving us a comment and sharing yours. So make sure and stay tuned. Welcome back, guys. Thanks again for everyone that has viewed our recent videos, everyone that's subscribing or even just interacting and sharing some comments, some likes. We always really appreciate those and love to chat with you guys. So if you haven't already, make sure and give us a subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the other statues we have coming through the line. Today, we're here to talk about Lady Luck herself, Domino, the brand new Sideshow premium format, and this is the exclusive edition. We will just be doing a review today. It's an exceedingly simple statue to kind of put together, so nothing really complicated or, instructional needed. So we're going to just go right into our thoughts of the statue itself. Displayed right now, we have her with the collector portrait. So we'll start there and then we'll do a little swap with the exclusive piece there. But I always like to start with the base, of course, and we have some really cool details on this base. We have a bunch of coins at the bottom, and the coins all look really cool. They look very metallic, different shading and nice, paint app and everything on them. Little Deadpool faces in there too on some of the, I'm assuming it's the back side of the coins. So you can see some right there. You got the dollar signs on some of them, but plenty of the Deadpool little face logos there, as well as a bunch of shells, which is really cool. Kind of adds to the movement, I guess, if you will, or kind of what just happened here in this scene. So moving on up, you see exactly where those shells kind of came from. We have a slot machine that is like really detailed, very nice. And it has tons and tons of bullet holes all over in it. Looks very damaged. Like the facing kind of is uneven as well. It's dented. It kind of goes indented here. Protrudes in other areas, big chunks missing here. I mean, it looks pretty epic, very cool, very real. I really love the kind of glass faces here, I guess, or the, I don't know what you would call them, but
plexi.
Yeah, it's like a plexi, and then it has like the bullet hole cracks in them, and there's some silvering in there, so it really looks like broken glass to the eye. So it's really cool. I mean, that could have easily just been a sticker or some like really quick, like kind of flat piece there, because it's not super, necessary in a sense. But when you really look at it from the side, you can see the three-dimensional slots there. You can see the in-depth beyond the glass or the plexi of what's inside the slot machine. So really cool detailing on that. I love the Days of Future Cash kind of little joke there. I thought that was very clever, seeing the prototype.
It looks like a real slot machine. Like, it looks like you would be able to just pull the handle and these would spin on the inside.
Absolutely,
so cool.
Right? Yeah, it does look like a real slot machine, just, quarter scale. So very cool. I love the slot machine lever and how it's being used, by Domino with her crossed leg there in a very kind of sassy, sexy, nonchalant kind of way. She's pulling down on the lever there, sitting there in all of her luck and glory. So it's very nice, adds a lot of attitude to this character. Really, I feel like characterizes her very nice. So love the slot machine. Love the base. I thought it was a really fun. It's very different from the rest of the X line. It's not connecting to the kind of X Mansion and Danger Room theme that's kind of been going around. It's its own, but that's appropriate, I feel like, for this character. I mean, she definitely doesn't run necessarily with the X-Men very often. She's been more of an X-Force character, hooking up with Cable, Deadpool, Boom Boom, of course, and a bunch of the other X-Force characters. So I feel like to have her kind of on her own a smidge here doesn't take away from anything, and I feel like it fits the character. So but again, I like the little X-Men throwback here to Days of Future Past. There is definitely some connection there to the rest of the mutants in her own way. All right, let's go ahead and keep moving on up to the body. So we have a really cool pose, of course. You know, Lady Luck has never looked better. She has that very sassy arched back, again, very nonchalant, very cocky in her own way. Couple of guns. We have her handguns. Obviously, her right hand here is kind of supporting herself on this slanted. And you can see as I back up, there is a slant to the slot machine as it's on a pile of coins, so it's not like evenly, you know, up and down as well, which is very nice. Adds a little bit of some character to it, I think. And so she is supporting herself there with one handgun. Then on the other side, she has her other handgun, and there's a removable smoking piece there. And I actually really like that piece in there, so I'm gonna keep that, I think. It does have some like frosting on it, so it looks more like smoky. It's not just like plain white. So I really like that. I'm gonna go ahead and keep that in there. But it is removable if it's not your thing and you'd rather have just the gun there. So it does kind of have those two options. Strapped to her sides here, you have a longer, more rifle style blaster there. And then on her other side, you have extra magazines. There's a bunch of magazines along the back and on the sides as well. I think on this side, there's another, looks like maybe a rifle magazine or two smaller ones. So she's just fully loaded, packed, ready to, you know, do the thing that Domino does. So a lot of really cool little accessories and things on her actual uniform. I love all the different straps as well. The zipper looks really great. You got your holsters here where the guns went, so it kind of completes, again, the look. Sometimes I, like with Mystique, for example, when you swap out the hand and you use the exclusive hand, which was the X23, like changing hand, then all of a sudden you have an extra holster that doesn't have a gun in it. Yeah. So I always like, you know, notice those kind of things. So I really appreciate that you got two empty holsters there that, you know, you can clearly see where she just drew her guns from. And then we have a bunch of different like kind of textures and things going on in her suit as well. So you have, of course, like the guard pieces. They look like more of that heavier, either like plastic, you know, that heavy, like, I don't know, what do you call that? Like assault gear kind of stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it's like a heavy plastic, right? Like in real life, wouldn't it be? Like, yeah. Like maybe body armor, yeah, like, you know, I don't, yeah, I'm trying to think of like what the proper term would be. Yeah. But it looks real. Like, you know, it definitely looks different than the way that this has been kind of sculpted and painted, where you kind of see more of like a leather kind of like texture to it. I think it's kind of drawn out by some of the bunching that is done here. Again, bunching in the torso area. So it clearly differentiates what is like highly flexible, highly like more material, and then what you have that is more of like hard, you know, protective gear in a sense. So a lot of like different textures and looks here. Looks really great. One thing I noticed is there's a little bit of a color difference, right? And I think I'm picking it up pretty good on the camera.
She's not, her clothes aren't black. They're more like a really, really dark blue.
Exactly. Yeah, and we have, like, you can see more visibly here in this kind of texture tone, and you can see when you get really close, it is highly textured. It looks like mesh. It looks, you know, like very different than like the top part here. And it is a very, very deep, dark, almost like I guess a navy blue, if you will, or something, like very dark though. Definitely when you introduce more light to the statue, you start to really see that. And I think it really just kind of translates up to some of the coloring as well, like in the lips. Yeah. You know, even I feel like on the eye as well.
It's a little more blue than black.
Yeah, and I feel like that looks really cool. It all kind of ties together really nicely. So the coloration, I mean, the paint app alone is really well done here, guys. You know, once again, Sideshow has a piece here that the portraits look excellent. I mean, like really well done. The paint app looks really well done here. And of course the sculpt, it starts with all of that, is really well executed as well. So we have a really nice looking statue. I mean, I don't see any difference between this and like what the prototype looked like. I mean, it's super well done. Yeah, so, but I really did like, you know, and that was something Latrice noticed right away when she saw it as well, was the kind of difference in colors. I think if we had just jet black all the way down, it would really mute out a lot of these details for this character. And, you know, with so much heavy, you know, negative, I guess, coloring and space potentially in the statue, it really does make it pop a lot more. So I do appreciate that detail as well. I really love the X-Force belt there too. Looks really nice, very well executed. Belt looks kind of almost a little bit more metal, and you can see like the plating. Same thing kind of a little bit underneath here. So those are really cool. Buckles look really great. Again, as you just stare at it, you can just really see this was really, really well done. Very nicely executed Sideshow. So, yeah. Really love this piece. Let's see. I don't think there's anything else I've missed, Latrice. Is there anything you want to call out?
No.
Okay, what do you think about the classic or the collector's portrait?
I like it. It's very, I can't get Trinity from the Matrix out of my head.
Yeah, you had mentioned that.
But I think it's really well done.
Yeah, the hair, all the little tiny like strands of hair too. There's just a lot going on there. As I turn her around to you, you'll start to see all the little pieces poking out and stuff. So it's, again, a really well executed both in sculpt and paint on the head sculpt there. I really like the way it came out. And, you know, the great thing too is that both of them really add a very different look to Domino.
It's completely different.
Yeah.
Portraits.
I mean, like, aside from just the hair, obviously, I mean, even the smirks and even like the pose and the way she is, it changes the statue quite a bit. And that's not always the case. And sometimes I'm okay with that depending on the character and what the piece looks like. But you really got two very different options here with the exclusive piece. So I do like that. Yeah, and I like this one. There's a little bit of a smirk. I feel like with this collector's portrait in, you can display her a little bit more in this direction. So you get a little bit more visibility to the arm right there and the lean. You can even go more like this angle. So you kind of see a different side of the profile in a sense. And then when Latrice switches out the exclusive piece right now, you will see that you end up almost displaying her in a different angle. So then it kind of draws out a little bit something different. And then there isn't so much of a smirk. There is a little bit more of like the blowing of the smoke. Excuse me, blowing of the smoke action there. So definitely something that switches up the statue quite a bit. Thank you, Latrice. It is a very strong magnet in there too. So I really like that. Another thing I really appreciate is just like how the portrait is kind of set into the statue. So the sides of her costume right here and the collars, of course, are raised a lot higher. So it really gives the effect that there are no seams. Really easily there could have been some like kind of bad seam lines in the neck and things. So I feel like the way that they've approached some of these seam lines and stuff has been really cool lately. So you can see from a side angle here, you can see where the side of the suit is kind of raised there. So it really gives that effect. I like it. Yeah, so we have the exclusive head here, more of a classic Bob portrait. And
this one better.
You like this one better?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the one I'm going to be using as well. I really like the blowing effect too. It really goes nice with the smoke. I think if you don't use the smoke on the other portrait, it doesn't really take away. It looks just as good. But in this one, I almost feel like you really need that smoke to kind of complete the movement, the look of her, you know, blowing after basically, I'm sure, taking down quite a few people and surviving. Yeah, so I love this portrait. Again, super great execution here. You guys can see the blues in the eyes there. Again, the blue lipstick that kind of ties back into the suit. Yeah, the little bit of the swoop in the hair too, as you can tell, she kind of is just, throwing her head back and doing a little victory blow there on the gun. I mean, yeah, I feel like this one adds a little bit more movement to the statue, whereas the other one, it looks a little bit more stationary. Yeah, like you can definitely see the hair movement there. And again, the smoke, I mean, really nicely done. Domino, of course, this is all kind of alluding to her power, which is not necessarily, I know in the movie they jokingly talk about how she just is lucky and that's her superpower. That's not really the way it works. It's definitely more of a telekinetic power, similar to kind of like Jean or any of those really powerful telekinetic mutants, but it's very latent and it's very like kind of knee-jerk reactionary. So she doesn't really control it in a sense, but it just like pops up like and helps her out in every situation. And it's very much like a knee-jerk kind of thing that it just makes the situation perfect for her. And so I feel like this statue really captures her superpower without having actual bullets flying, because you can tell like, how the hell did she ever survive this? But of course somebody with that power would. And so really adds a lot again to the statue. So this is Sideshow's very first Domino statue, and I think they nailed it. I feel like this really captures the character. Very nicely done.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Last thing I want to comment on really quick is the box. I thought the box was really cool.
The box is awesome.
The box is really awesome. It's a big slot machine, of course. There is a like a handle on this side, but I really like the stickers on them as well. They have these like kind of fake looking stickers. Yeah, some X-Men stickers and different things like that, bullet holes and stuff. So the box is like, really fun. And sometimes it's just a picture of the statue or something of the logo of the character. And they really put a lot of fun thought into this box. So I appreciate it. I'm usually not one to comment much on the boxes, but I loved it a lot. All right. Latrice, anything else that we missed or want to share?
No, I think got it all.
Yeah. I will say, like, assembly-wise, couple of call-outs really fast, forgot to mention. So definitely put in the hand with the gun first, because it does lay so close. It's like very so slightly like, barely touching there. So I really like that as well too, because you don't have like that rubbing effect per se, but it looks like full contact. So it's perfectly executed, but you do need to make sure and attach that piece first before you set her down into it. Similarly, you want to probably do the same thing here with the slot machine lever. I feel like you could probably get away with it, but it's just always a little easier if you put the lever in first and then you introduce the statue and the contact with the boot here. And again, like I mentioned, the smoke does come out. So when it does come out, there is the hole similar to the lower barrel there in the gun, so it doesn't take away anything. Really nice option there. So yeah, simple assembly. We just have the one key on the butt and she sits right in there. And so, yeah, it's just a couple of pieces but a really, really, really nice statue. Yeah. So, all right. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining us today at INL Danger Room Reviews. And we just saw the unboxing video on Sideshow.com for the Jean Grey Premium format. So we know that means she's coming soon. So we're excited about that. Latrice has her on pre-order, and we'll be doing a review with that one as well. So thank you guys so much for joining us today. Please, again, leave us a comment or a like, or if you want to go the extra mile, give us a subscribe. And we hope that you join us for all the other reviews that will be coming down the line. Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks.